The British Truck Racing Association 2014 Championship is brought to you by AET Transport Services Limited and bulkbuy.com. Hi everyone, and a warm welcome to Thruxton Circuit here in Hampshire for round 3 of the 2014 British Truck Racing Association Championship. This is probably the fastest circuit that the trucks race on throughout the season, and we've got a full field of awesome machines, plus the show trucks, which are out in force once again. And let's see whether the championship leads of Division 2 Top Gun, Simon Reed, and Division 1 runner, Chris Levitt, can be maintained this weekend.
So Mark, we're looking behind the scenes here, team manager of Truck 55. Just tell us a little bit about how you got involved with this.
We've been racing since 2003, 2004. It was actually Carl Brookfield and his father that got us into truck racing. Unfortunately, Carl's father died about 4 or 5 years ago, and we've continued with the team. The team's done really well this year, and we've got a very good driver, Graham, good backup behind the scenes, back at the workshop. We've got some good sponsors on board, and it's actually proved to be really good.
Just tell us about how you prepare for a weekend.
Well, it normally starts at least 2 weeks before the race starts, and it actually starts back at the workshop. So we've got the guys there working back at the workshop, actually all in their own time. They work really hard to get the truck ready, and then it's arrived here, and normally 4 or 5 guys turn up again, all in their own time, and work really exceptionally hard to keep the truck going and keep Graham on the front.
And it does seem to be giving these Div 1 boys a good run for the money.
Yeah, we're doing really well in our division. We just got to make sure we keep it up, and that again comes back to the hard work back at the workshop. It's all very well being first, but you've got to try and stay there.
Best of luck for the rest of the season.
Thanks very much indeed.
So Luke, a fantastic weekend here at Thruxton, and in memory of your father Ross, just tell us a little bit about his achievement and involvement with the British Truck Racing Association.
He came into truck racing in '92, doing an invitation race with Nigel Fry, which was Trucks and GB racing. He then '94 bought his own lorry. We've done racing ever since '94. In the British, we won in 2005. We won it in 2006. He then raced in 2007 on a works Renault. 2004 was our best year. We came fourth in the European Championship, and that is when he got his nickname Rocket Ross, and it stuck, and it's on his helmet, and yeah, it was on the back of the race lorry. So we were in the top 10 for 3 or 4 years on a very low budget compared to a lot of the works teams. He's very clean, very fair racer, and he had a lot of respect from everybody here and everybody in the European.
Well, thank you very much, and enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Thank you. Thanks very much.
I've got a lot of very good memories of watching Ross Garrett racing in the British Truck Racing Association Championship, and his memory kept alive there, as you can see. We're getting ready for what is the 11th race of the season. Remember, 5 races per weekend if you come and watch the trucks. Pole position is Steve Rothery, who led the championship after Brands Hatch. Steve Powell to his outside. Then Simon Reed in red, Ryan Smith on the outside, and then Graham Powell in green 55, who took those 5 race wins at Pembrey. And here's the in-truck view from Steve Powell on the front row of the grid, the outside. Steve Powell, race winner at Brands Hatch, took fastest lap as well in race 5 of the year. But it's Ryan Smith who comes through in 88. The Powells in the mix as well. Graham Powell trying to come up the inside. Simon Reed has been dumped down the order a little bit, but we now go back to the Division 1 trucks, which in theory should catch up by the end. And they're away, a separate start for the faster trucks. Ricky Collett leading, on board with Dave Jenkins. Jenks getting stuck in. Steve Thomas is just in front of us in 33, third in the championship coming into this race, but Collett gets the upper hand from truck number 7 multi-champion Stuart Oliver. Chris Levitt right at the back with Matt Summerfield. Now championship-wise, Levitt on 90 points, Summerfield on 86, Steve Thomas on 80. They're the top three, but we go back to the Division 2 runners. Graham Powell's on a mission already. It's Ryan Smith out front, right around the far side of the circuit. Now, bearing in mind we've got two very technical slow sections. The uphill climb here at Woodham Hill. The average speed is 80.44 miles per hour, and Graham Powell is looking to the outside line here. Is there going to be room to pass at the chicane? I think GP knows that he's got quite a few laps to be able to sort things out. Back to the Division 1 runners, and all eyes are going to be on the three runners there. Steve Thomas third in the championship, Matt Summerfield the defending double champion in blue, but through into Allard and into lead position goes Graham Powell, but a massive lock-up from Ryan Smith. He can't quite pedal his way through. Ryan Smith in the Sisu down to second place. This is very significant for Graham Powell. He had a mare of a round at Brands. We'll come back to that because we're on board with Stuart Oliver running second in the race at the moment behind Ricky Collett. Collett looking for his second win of the season. Took a win at Brands, and the HGV Direct truck out front at the moment from Stuart Oliver. Steve Thomas being put under pressure by Matt Summerfield, who looks up the inside into the complex. Chris Levitt's there as well. Many people expecting Levitt to get a hat load of wins here. This is probably one of the circuits that's going to suit that ex-European truck particularly well. This is the view from Stuart Oliver again. Ricky Collett still out front and hanging on round the far side of the circuit. Look at the lean that Stuart Oliver gets in the Kelsa number 7 machine. We're starting to reel in the Division 2 runners now, and that's going to be the next mission. Oliver and Collett have got to dice amongst themselves whilst they catch and pass the Division 2 runners. At the moment, Graham Powell, who's picked up overall wins this year, is still out front. It's Ryan Coulson, newcomer to the championship in the Seddon Atkinson, who sticks to the outside, so it's good driving by the newcomer. On board with Ricky Collett, safely through on the inside. I wonder if we're going to see a pass by Stuart Oliver. Oliver does pass the back marker, comes offline, looks to the outside line, but Ricky Collett coming into the chicane where we've got a massive crowd today. You can't see it, it's behind our camera, but in the grandstand there, absolutely packed out, and on the banks going down in towards Allard, the first corner. Steve Powell goes through. There is Simon Reed, then Steve Rothery. Adam Bint in the 05 Volvo White, and problems for David Jenkins, who comes into the pits. Now, is that a terminal problem, or is he going to be able to get back out? The door's open. Well, hopefully David might be able to rejoin. We'll see if he does. But Graham Powell out front, fastest lap once again in Division 2. Second place is Ryan Smith. And now, as you can see, we've got the Division 1 boys starting to work their way through. Ricky Collett's got a bit of breathing space over Stuart Oliver. Up into third place is now Chris Levitt. Ben Horn in 25 running well. Bit of drift on there from Ben. His dad Steve, who arranges the superb truck shows and lineups that we see at these events. And I tell you what, they're worth the money to see to come into any of these meetings as well. Collett's really got the hammer down, hasn't he? He's in front of Simon Reed. Oliver's about to pass Simon Reed, who's running third in class at the moment. Matt Summerfield trying to pass number 3, Steve Powell. So Oliver manages to deal with Simon Reed. Chris Levitt's coming up as well. You can see Levitt's got a little bit of bodywork damage on the front. Evidence of some contact earlier on in the race, and this is going to be crucial again for Levitt to levitate himself in the points even further ahead of Matt Summerfield. Remember, a 4-point lead coming into this race. On board with Stuart Oliver, second in Division 1, but not for long, because through on the inside goes Chris Levitt. Levitt's through into second position in class, and Ricky Collett will see Levitt's machine coming through. Collett's got just a little bit of breathing space at the moment. Chris Levitt still there. Is Ben Horn being put under pressure by Steve Thomas. And it's Matt Summerfield in truck number 1, the double champion. Must be wondering what he can do to try and reel in Chris Levitt at the moment. This is the view from Oliver. So Stuart Oliver working so hard, the multi-champion Ricky Collett trying to close in on the second place truck at the moment. Ryan Smith, second in Division 2, second overall in the race. And Collett is going to see Chris Levitt looming in his mirrors before too long. Matt Summerfield still can't deal at the moment with Steve Thomas, who's on the back end of Ben Horn in the gold truck. Then it's Simon Reed, still third position in Division 2 for the Division 2 Championship leader. 6-point lead over Steve Powell coming into this round. A further point clear of Steve Rothery. And Graham Powell, after that miserable round 1 at Brands Hatch, on 55 points. So it's going to take him, it would take him 3 race wins with no finishes for the other guys to get him into the lead, as Ricky Collett goes down on the inside of Ryan Smith into second position in the race. He still leads Division 1. Oh, and straight lining the chicane was Chris Levitt. Levitt straight lines the chicane. I'm not sure he gained an advantage necessarily there, as we go on board with Ricky Collett once again onto the last lap. Graham Powell still out front, around Allard and into the Campbell Cobb Seagrave complex for the last time. Collett chasing down, Ryan Smith coming under pressure. And what's happened to Chris Levitt? Levitt's involved there, he's dropped right back. Ben Horn's through, and there's Chris Levitt out of the race. And Matt Summerfield tied up with him as well. And I think that was going off before Summerfield went in, but we're going back on board with Ricky Collett on his last lap here at Thruxton. Second position, he's got the class win, I think, in the bag at the moment, but he'll want an overall win as well. He's chasing hard. Stuart Oliver is still there in third, followed by Ben Horn. This is going to be Ben's best result of the season. He's fourth at the moment. Welcome back to Thruxton on the last lap with Graham Powell leading the Division 2 truck, but Ricky Collett's going to get a run. So this is exactly how it's supposed to pan out in truck racing. The faster Division 1 truck's coming through, and Collett's challenging for the lead, climbing up Woodham Hill, the yellow truck on the inside, side by side, Division 1 v Division 2. Surely Collett's going to take it. Graham Powell's not going to risk anything. He's seen Collett there, and Collett goes past. He's going to take the overall win. Stuart Oliver is challenging for second place, and is Oliver going to get a run? Look how much quicker out of the chicane. Oliver takes second. Graham Powell wins once again in Division 2 in green, but the overall win goes to Ricky Collett. A cracking result for Ben Horn, who takes a podium. Ben Horn's first podium of the year. That's great to see. His dad, who's organising the big demonstration of show trucks here today, which will go right the way around the circuit. It's a massive show. He's going to be so pleased about that. Ben Horn gets third, but the win going to Ricky Collett. So here's how they finish. Collett takes the win from Stuart Oliver. Graham Powell wins Division 2. Ben Horn third in Division 1. Then Steve Thomas. Ryan Smith second in Div 2. Simon Reed another podium in Div 2. Then Steve Powell. Matt Summerfield ninth. Adam Bint in 10th position. 11th Steve Rothery. Dave Jenkins rejoined for 12th. Ryan Coulson on his debut is 13th. And a non-finish for championship leader Chris Levitt.
So Richard, what a fantastic victory there, and a great battle.
Yeah. I had a lucky start because Dave dropped out with a mechanical problem, so I had a free run into the first corner, and then a bit of pressure from Stuart all for the whole race really, and managed to come across the Division 2 trucks in the right position, so I could draft past them fairly easily. So yeah, really good.
Now Graham Powell was leading that race for the majority, but you did well to catch him.
Yeah, it was the last corner. I got alongside him coming down the back straight, and I thought, oh, I've done it easily here. And then he held me out right into the chicane. I called him a few choice words.
Got the victory, that's the main thing. It's all about the points.
Yeah, it's the win that counts. So yeah, really happy. Yeah.
Well, it's not just the characters like Ricky Collett or the superb racing machinery that brings the paying spectators into our events. It's the show trucks that are worth the cost of admission alone just to see. And we get the opportunity to see a procession of those around the circuit at most of our events, organised by former truck racer Steve Horn. These events well worth seeing.
So Ryan, first time out, joining the championship and one of the fastest circuits in the UK.
Yeah, it's been a good experience for the first time racing. Went out, I just couldn't get to grips with it, but the second race I had yesterday really pulled some seconds in then.
How did you get into this championship?
Well, I was sponsored Ryan, went to see Ryan. I was seeing how well Ryan were doing, then we decided to buy another truck and start a partnership.
Now, here we are in round 3, so we've got quite a few rounds to go. You with us for the whole season?
Yes, we're going to press on for the whole season, yeah, and try and get a bit. Well, Ryan's really doing well, but we're trying to get a lot better on.
We've got race 3 coming up. Where do you start?
On pole.
How do you feel about that?
I want it.
Checking your mirrors or looking straight forward?
Looking straight forward. I don't worry about what's going to happen at the back.
Well, Ryan's looking forward to it, and indeed so are we. He's a brave man, starting in pole position in truck number 87. This is the third race of the meeting. Race 2 saw a win for Chris Levitt, with Matt Summerfield following in second, David Jenkins third in Division 1. Division 2 going to Graham Powell from Simon Reed and Ryan Smith. Lights on. Got our on board at the back end of Adam Bint. That was mighty close for Steve Powell, and through goes Steve Rothery on the inside in 29. Rothery making a blinding start. Graham Powell around the outside as well. That newcomer certainly getting swept by. He's going to get used to those starts. Simon Reed's coming through as well. Adam Bint on the outside. GP in 55. Graham Powell into Allard. He'll come up the inside now. Side by side, it's the Sisu back in third place at the moment. So Adam Bint's made a great start. Back with the Div 1 boys. There we go, Stuart Oliver in truck number 7. Up ahead of him, it's Ben Horn who gets away well. Dave Smith on pole position in the white Renault, still not particularly happy with it, but the team continue to put in a lot of hard work to get that truck where they need it to be. Here is David Jenkins, third in race 2. It's a podium for him. Look how hard he's working that truck. The big black MAN. There is Chris Levitt in the mix as well. So Levitt now just a point down on Matt Summerfield, who goes off. That is going to be a big bonus for Levitt, who's pulled himself back into the championship standings with that win in race number 2. This is race 3 though, and it's Rothery being swamped. Bint goes round the outside. Ryan Smith's looking to the inside. This great big gaggle of trucks. Now you wonder why they put everybody, all the spectators have to stand, and the marshals standing further back. You can see the marshals on the bank. And when you've got this much metal hammering up the hill and into what is effectively the slowest point on the circuit, that's why we move everybody back, because this metal would not be stopped necessarily in that volume by the barriers that are there. They round the turn. At the moment, Graham Powell is back in 4th place. He's got a lot of work to do. He's trying to try and shape up and pass Ryan Smith for 4th. He's pointing the 55 machine down the inside, and the Renault goes through on the inside past Ryan Smith in the Sisu and up into 3rd place. Adam Bint is passed as well. Bint in the Volvo white. Massive flame out there from Steve Rothery in 29, who's leading this one well. Rothery moving over from Saloon Car Racing, as I've told you in previous rounds. David Jenkins on board, looking at the back end of Ben Horn. Back we go though, and into the lead goes Graham Powell. So GP in the lead once again. He's almost customary position. He's only, of course, did it all the way through Pembrey, and now here again at Thruxton. He has had fastest lap in both of the 2 races so far, and 2 wins. He's still a little bit of a way on points, but he's going to haul himself, if he carries on like this, up towards the top 3 of the championship by the end of the meeting. Steve Rothery 4th in the championship now. Ryan Smith is 2nd. There is Steve Thomas 3rd in the Division 1 standings at the moment, 94 points. Chris Levitt's on 100 points. We're on board with Matt Summerfield looking at the rear end of Ricky Collett, who took the race 1 win. Chris Levitt's got things running pretty well so far. He's looking to make it 2 wins on the bounce in Division 1. And Levitt, you can see at the back of shot, starting to make progress on these Division 2 boys. Here's the view from Steve Powell, who finds himself down behind Simon Reed. Reed on 97 points coming into this race. Powell on 88, side by side. Bint and Smith. Smithy looking up the inside, but Adam Bint couldn't see him running well. He sat out Pembrey with mechanical problems. The truck was in the paddock, but they couldn't get it sorted out. And a great move by Simon Reed, who passes 2 trucks in one go. The championship leader. Well, it's hard enough to pass one, but to slot past 2. Coming up as well is Steve Powell, who's side by side at the moment with Adam Bint. He makes the pass 2. Bint is running well. There's still a great deal of value for money to come out of Division 2, but we go back to the Div 1 boys. Matt Summerfield looks at the outside line of the HGV direct chuck of Ricky Collett. Collett's got the line covered, but he's being a gent in terms of racing into the second part of the complex. Back to the Div 1 boys. Simon Reed getting it all sideways. Reed has been so consistent. Remember, he had 4 wins at Brands Hatch, but he's always been on the podium. Wasn't leading the championship after Brands, after the non-finish, but he kept chipping away at Pembrey and placing that 89 machine on the podium. That's kept him in the lead of the championship. He's being harried by Steve Powell, who is second in the championship coming into this race, back with Stuart Oliver. So Oliver makes the pass in truck number 7, but Chris Levitt is coming through as well. So it's Oliver from Levitt in Division 1. Back to the Div 2, so it's Graham Powell still out front. Steve Powell passes Rothery, or does he, side by side into the chicane. He had no alternative there but to straight line it just a little bit, and I'm sure the stewards are going to forgive him that. Chris Levitt now in front of Stuart Oliver. Dave Jenkins on the podium in the last race is in third and hungry for another one. Lines himself up on the outside line at Oliver. Right-hander through Allard. Next up they'll come down into Campbell. Look how sideways Oliver's getting. Very good truck control of the Kelso machine, but the ATE truck is coming through as well. Dives to the inside. Outside on the next part. So into the complex. Oliver grabs the line and still maintaining second position in class, but Chris Levitt is going to, here, if things stay the way they are, jump back into the championship lead. He's a point down at the moment on Matt Summerfield after race 2 here at Thruxton, and Steve Thomas a further 6 points back, but this is going to put Levitt back in the championship lead. Simon Reed now has made a bit of progress, and you can see the Division 1 runners starting to go through. There's Ben Horn, Steve Thomas, Matt Summerfield now past Ricky Collett. So Collett, good points, and that overall race win in race number 1, getting a little bit of a drift on. Through on the inside comes Chris Levitt, but we're on board with Stuart Oliver. He's making progress as well. Oliver through and past Steve Rothery. Simon Reed up front at the moment. That's where Chris Levitt is, looking on the inside, climbing up Woodham Hill. I think Simon Reed will recognise the truck that's there, lets him through, comes back across, takes the appropriate line into the chicane just ahead of Stuart Oliver. I'm not sure he nicked too much space or speed off Stuart Oliver there, but this is allowing perhaps David Jenkins to get back in the mix as well. Oliver comes offline, passes Reed. Jenkins in black goes through as well. David Smith still there. He's the next target for Matt Summerfield, but Oliver still being chased, a little bit squirrely there, but Oliver doesn't lose too much momentum, and David Jenkins still passing. David Smith at the moment running in third place in Division 1. Ben Hall looks up the inside of Rothery. Welcome back to Thruxton, and our third race, second one we've seen here from the race meeting, round 3 of the championship. Here's Ben Horn coming under pressure from Steve Thomas with Matt Summerfield in close attendance. It looks like Chris Levitt, who is up front, is going to retake the lead of the championship. It's been toing and froing so far all season, but Graham Powell leads. Levitt second, Graham Powell leading Division 2, Chris Levitt chasing his lead in Division 1, and as you can see, David Jenkins now second in Division 1 ahead of Stuart Oliver there in the Silver 7, the Kelso back truck. Going around Allard, we've got a non-finisher. You could probably just saw in the pit lane as Chris Levitt goes through into the lead. Graham Powell still leading class, so he's going to be happy to be there. David Jenkins goes through in second place, having a great run here. Jenks, fastest lap on circuit is Chris Levitt, back on lap 2, 1 minute 39.4. averaging 85.32. Now remember, these trucks are limited for safety reasons to 100 miles an hour. So to average 85 miles an hour around here is absolutely incredible. Here's the view from Stuart Oliver, third place at the moment in Division 1 and chasing hard. It looks like it could be another podium for Oliver. Second position in race 1, fifth in race 2, and he looks down the inside of Graham Powell in 55, who, if he wins this one in class, which it looks like he will because he's got fastest lap as well, it's going to be an incredible 8th win in succession, because remember, he won all of the races at Pembrey and he's picking up fastest laps as well. Steve Rothery still is fourth in the championship, now behind Ryan Smith. Up ahead of him in picture is Adam Bint. So things a lot calmer than they were earlier on in the race, and we go back to Ben Horn. Ben trying to close down on Ryan Smith. Steve Thomas all over the back of Ben Horn at the moment, so Thomas is working hard and about to challenge for fourth in class. 3 trucks wide here, and Thomas goes right up to the pit wall, the concrete on the pit wall. He's not frightened of that. And Matt Summerfield's coming into play as well, gets as close as he can without giving a glance on the back of Ben Horn's truck. I hear the race leads. I tell you what, David Jenkins is looking very sharp here. The MAN in black is really keeping Chris Levitt honest. They're on to the last lap. Levitt here, he's under pressure, on board with Dave Jenkins. The camera makes the gap look bigger, but Jenkins is hounding Levitt all the way. Levitt will definitely retake the lead of the championship. There's Matt Summerfield, the all-blue truck, who will drop again to second place in the championship. Graham Powell still running well. Here comes Steve Thomas now past Ben Horn. Then it's Matt Summerfield. Ricky Collett is chasing hard. Ryan Smith, 9th overall, still second in Division 2. Steve Powell is third in Div 2. Then David Smith in the white Renault Premium. Might see at the back of shot. Just about. There is Matt Summerfield still chasing hard, but Chris Levitt still hanging on out front. So Adam Bint and Steve Rothery dicing over 5th and 6th in class. But here is Chris Levitt, who is going to take his second win on the bounce. Chris Levitt back into the championship lead. There's the checkered flag. Levitt wins. Great drive from David Jenkins into second. Stuart Oliver will take third, but Chris Levitt retakes the championship lead. Well, here's how they finish. Levitt from Jenkins, Oliver third, Steve Thomas fourth, Ben Horn in fifth, Graham Powell wins Division 2, then it was Matt Summerfield, Ricky Collett and Ryan Smith second in Div 2, Steve Powell a Division 2 podium, David Smith next from Simon Reed, Adam Bint and Steve Rothery 14th. Fastest laps, Levitt and Powell.
So Chris, another great win, well done. The Thruxton seems to suit your truck.
Yeah, I was saying that with the podium, like with the commentator, the truck just seems to be able to stretch its legs and really go, like the engine performance can really go for it here, so it's really good.
Now I noticed Dave Jenkins was trying to obviously keep on in your sights there. Were you checking your mirrors?
Yeah, as soon as we got past Stuart, pushed for about 2 laps and just backed off, just trying to keep the tyres. So he could have probably just kept pushing and pushing, but if you look at Dave's tyres, they're probably shot, and then if you look at ours, we'll probably be able to use them again.
So David, brilliant result there. After some initial problems with the truck, you had some good clean racing.
Yeah, no, excellent racing with Stuart, and then we got through the pack and just lost a little bit of time in the first lap. Just the opportunities didn't unfold quite as well for me as they did for Chris, and then chased him home. So pleased with the lap times, pleased with the result. We've got a little bit of an intercooler issue with the truck still, so we're struggling a little bit for power. Other than that, we're getting quite close to optimum performance. So I'm really happy. Yeah.
Thruxton, is it hard on these trucks?
Yeah, it seems to be hard on the left front tyres at the moment, yeah. It can be hard on the engines around here because they're on full power for such a big lump of a lap, but equally, that once they're up to speed, they're offload a little bit, It's not like you're pulling hard from slow speeds off them, so, yeah, but it's good fun.
Stuart, what a great battle there.
Yeah, it was good. I had a great start, and I I looked in the mirrors on the first lap and I thought, "Whoa, this is good. It's looking good." You know, it got well away, but they just homed in on us lap by lap, and then before I know, when I got in among the back markers, Chris was there, and then Dave was there, and they've got a little bit more grunt out of the chicane on the start finish. So I couldn't do anything about it. I just had to just follow them through. But yeah, it was good. It was a good battle. It was a good dice getting through the back markers, because there's always an opportunity that the guy in front of you can sometimes go the wrong side, and you can pick a place back. But yeah, it was great fun.
Now, Thruxton's quite a technical track. It's flat out speed one half of it, and then you got the complex. Where's the best place to overtake and get through these back markers?
Into the corner and out of the corner is your best place. Through the corner is dangerous, because they are having their own race with other guys. So you sometimes, if there's two of them, you've got to be careful. If there's one, generally it's easier, but if there's two, they're fighting themselves. So you haven't got to get involved, because you could end up worse off.
Ryan, congratulations, second place. Now, for your first full season, you're certainly making your mark.
Well, I'm trying. It's the first time here. It's a very fast track. I'm getting very good starts. Brakes are fading out a little bit mid-race. But Graham Powell, to be fair, he's some driver. He's a very good driver. And once he gets in front, he's very hard to catch. But really, really, really enjoying it.
And so on to the last race of the meeting here at Thruxton. Race 4 was won by Graham Powell from Ryan Smith, Simon Reed, Matt Summerfield winning Division 1 from Steve Thomas and Chris Levitt. And away we go. Front of the grid, Ryan Coulson and Adam Bint. Bint goes round the outside, so too does Steve Powell from row 2. Powell up into second. Coulson on the inside. His learning session continues here at Thruxton. He's a brave man starting on the front row of the grid. It's the only way really to get stuck in. Oh, massive lock up from Ryan Smith, who spins it around on the brakes. He's facing the wrong way. There's a glance from, I think, Simon Reed and also Steve Rothery, who flames out trying to get going again. Well, that looked like he was just on the brakes into the complex and he lost it. Here come the Division 1 boys. David Jenkins on the outside. Stuart Oliver on the inside. Jenkins, you heard him saying that was getting some tyre wear. Matt Summerfield goes up the inside line. On board with Jenkins. Summerfield goes right the way around the outside and I think up into third place, but he's got Chris Levitt in front. Levitt taking third in that last race. So the way the points stand at the moment, Summerfield on 116, Levitt 2 points to the good on 118, Thomas on 110. Then it's Oliver and Jenkins, just 2 points between those two for 4th and 5th in the championship. But Adam Bint leads. Dave Smith's going to come through. Simon Reed on the outside. Graham Powell chasing hard as well, currently in 4th position. Here's the view from Steve Powell. Now, what's the SP? Is he going to be able to go up the inside? At the moment, he's just following the line as they come up Woodham Hill. Getting a bit defensive from Simon Reed. Reedy in turn holding off Graham Powell. So it was a pretty bruising first couple of corners for the Division 2 boys. But the rest of them making around cross the line. Adam Bint leading. Great to see Adam Bint in the Volvo white crossing the line in lead position. Graham Powell back at the moment in 4th, has got some work to do. He had fastest lap once again in race 4. We try and pick the best races for you. Ryan Smith, after that spin and the damage, I think it's got to be a retirement, isn't it? Ryan Smith is nursing the truck round, but it's Adam Bint still out front. Dave Smith, then Graham Powell up to 3rd. Simon Reed, the championship leader. He's still got a good lead. If he had a non-finish, it would still cost him the championship lead. Steve Rothery, passed by Jenkins in black, Summerfield in blue. They both go past. Here is Dave Jenkins. What a great shot of the former champion at work. Matt Summerfield goes through as well. Adam Bint still in the lead. Division 2, what a great place to come and race. A superb formula to watch. The crowd here, as ever, getting 2 races for the price of 1. And through on the inside, Steve Powell has got through in lead position. So through Church, one of the most fearsome corners in British racing, and the truck boys doing a grand job of getting these big reads through. Adam Bint down to 3rd. Simon Reed chasing hard in the Reed Freight backed truck. And that's Chris Levitt. Chris Levitt's out of the race. The championship leader is going to have another non-finish. That is going to be a huge problem for his championship lead. Levitt leading by 2 points, so Matt Summerfield could conceivably go back into the lead of the championship. He's going to have to finish the race as well. Graham Powell's passed his brother. So it's Powell G, Powell S, first and second. And across the line, a little bit of formation racing. Perhaps. No, Graham Powell's not going to do any of that. He gets through, and in the lead, it's still Adam Bint in third place. Stuart Oliver with a bit of battle scarring on the front end. They're coming up towards Ryan Colton, the pole position man, the newcomer in his first meeting. And here comes Dave Jenkins. Jenkins round the outside. Is he going to be able to pass Oliver? Join us after the break to see. Welcome back to Thruxton. Stuart Oliver still in the lead. It's Dave Jenkins putting him under pressure with Steve Thomas in third place. Still third in the championship, Thomas. Fast and consistent. So too is Jenkins, though. And this pair battling for fourth in the championship on the back of this race. Jenkins, you can see, up to 100 mile an hour. Just over 101 momentarily. So Stuart Oliver still the driver to beat. Jenkins putting the pressure on. Then Steve Thomas looked back to Ben Horn. Ryan Colson about to be passed by Matt Summerfield. So Summerfield a long way down on these guys, so he's going to be trying his best to maybe pull up some points in the championship. Remember, we lost the championship leader Chris Levitt just before the break, so Summerfield here has got the opportunity to just sneak ahead a wee bit. Question is if he can get the truck to the finish. I'm sure he will, but how many points lead is he going to have after Thruxton? That remains to be seen. Look at Steve Thomas really piling the pressure on now in the 33 truck. Looks around the outside of the 69 machine of David Jenkins. Jenkins in turn all over the back of Stuart Oliver in Cowser 7, who's still there, very much battle scarred, but he is taking the race right the way to the flag. Got to try and hunt down Adam Bint in front of them. Simon Reed is still in third place, and you can see just how much is being thrown up into the path of David Jenkins. And look at the concentration on Jenkins. Look at the turning in that he does. Drifts a little bit wider than Stuart Oliver out front of him. Oliver hanging on to the truck. So now we've got 4 trucks. You can barely see 3 of them all together. Here's Graham Powell, who's going to take another outright win here if my timing's going to work out. Powell still leads. It's Stephen Powell in second, Simon Reed in third. Stuart Oliver comes through with David Jenkins. Steve Thomas still putting the pressure on as well. Adam Bint is dropping down the order a little bit. Then Ben Horn and Matt Summerfield together up Woodham Hill into the chicane once again. And Stuart Oliver in 7 took his only so far class win in round 7 of the championship at Pembrey. But he's always on or near the podium, so we'll be looking to add to that as David Jenkins goes side by side with him. They clatter, and Steve Thomas is poised here to make a move and follow whoever goes through. And Jenkins has to cede that Oliver is slightly faster and got the better line. Oliver hangs on to position. Through goes Steve Powell. Back down the order now. Here comes Matt Summerfield chasing hard round the outside line of Ben Horn. They've got Adam Bint to deal with shortly. Summerfield hanging on the outside. Can he get through? No, he can't. Ben Horn's racing hard this meeting as well. Our cameraman placed here at the complex shows Horn still hanging on in the 25 truck. Horn's had a good set of points this weekend so far in the MAN. Summerfield, though, nips down the inside and I think has got the position. Oliver still from David Jenkins. There is the new 4th place man, Matt Summerfield. At the moment is going to be on for 7 points in this race. So that will move him, I think, 5 points clear of Chris Levitt, assuming again that he gets through to the finish. Jenkins, you can see, has unfinished business as well. Trying to close in on the race leader as far as Division 1 is concerned, Stuart Oliver. Still Graham Powell out front from Steve. There is Simon Reed, third in class. Simon's going to get a big point, but he's fighting the rear end of the truck through the chicane. He got on the gas very early, probably a little look in his mirror and seeing the Div 1 boys coming through. And Matt Summerfield is closing in. He's got the fastest lap of the race, Summerfield, in blue, 1:39.574. So Summerfield's truck really coming good now. There's Ben Horn. You can see he's pulled away from Ben Horn at the moment in 25, that immaculate gold livery. So is Summerfield going to be able to catch the quartet of trucks that we've got here, three of which are all fighting over the lead in Division 1. This is a great Division 1 battle. Steve Thomas still in third place, but here comes Matt Summerfield about to apply the pressure on. Meanwhile, here's the view from the office of David Jenkins. Stuart Oliver still running defensive, but fairly out front in the Kelso machine. The ATE Trailers truck is still in second place. Steve Thomas coming under pressure from Matt Summerfield now. HRBS truck is all over the back of Thomas. So we've got four drivers here, all in with a shout of winning Division 1. Through goes the Division 2 leader and the overall race leader. You can see the gap between the green truck that went through Graham Powell and his brother Steve, but here's the scrap for the lead. Four trucks for Division 1 for the lead. Thomas comes offline. He's challenging Jenkins for second, but he might be too far back. Matt Summerfield's in there as well. This great view from the main straight is going to show Oliver still there, so Stuart Oliver in the lead from David Jenkins. Matt Summerfield trying to work out where he can pass. Oliver comes through the chicane, uses the curbs well. Dave Jenkins right behind him, and Steve Thomas comes offline. He's going to have a look down the inside. They're coming on to the last lap. Thomas is looking down the inside. Summerfield's coming into the equation as well, but it's still Stuart Oliver, the multiple champion, who's there. Thomas doesn't have enough to go through on the inside of Jenkins, and Summerfield comes up. Summerfield's on the outside. That should convert to the inside of the first part of the complex. Here they come around Allard, down towards the complex now. The reigning champion has got his nose down the inside of Steve Thomas. Can he go through? Thomas goes wide. Thomas makes a mistake. Matt Summerfield, he's up into third place. But the race leader is still Stuart Oliver. But here comes David Jenkins. He looks cool in the cab, but the pose that the truck was striking around the corner showed that the racing is a lot more physical than Jenks is letting on in the cab. And it's Stuart Oliver still there. Matt Summerfield chasing hard, gunning for that second position, and Jenkins now, as well as looking forward, has got to keep an eye on those rear view mirrors. Graham Powell, meanwhile, is going to take another overall win. Here comes the 55 truck. Well, he took 4 overall wins at Pembrey, and he's going to take another one here to add to the one he took in race number 4. Here's the battle for third position overall, the Division 1 honours. Back to Graham Powell. Well, we've got to acknowledge the fact that Graham's there. Look in the background though. Stuart Oliver surely is going to take second position. We wait for the checkered flag. Graham Powell has now, I think, got himself up into the top 3 of the championship with that win. We'll look at the points later. Here comes Stuart Oliver, who's going to take the win from Dave Jenkins. What a physical meeting Jenkins has had. He's worked hard. Matt Summerfield worked hard in that one. Steve Thomas has got himself back into the mix as well. 4th place in class from Thomas. Great drive from all of them. So Graham Powell win fastest lap. Steve Powell second. Stuart Oliver wins Div 1 from Dave Jenkins. Matt Summerfield third. Then Steve Thomas and Ben Horn. Simon Reed third in class. Dave Smith in 9th ahead of Ryan Coulson, who finishes down in 10th. The fastest laps of the race going to Matt Summerfield and Graham Powell.
Graham, fantastic racing. The last 10 races now you've come first place. It's going to be hard to beat you, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what to say really. It's just amazing, isn't it? We've had some wins in the past, but never like 5 and then 5 again. Last race was hard. There was a big crash in the second corner, which I nearly got involved in, and then managed to work my way through. Had a good race with my brother Steve, and he was going exceptionally well in that one. So yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, thanks to the team, thanks to everyone. Yeah. Very enjoyable weekend.
Steve, what a fantastic battle there, but does it make it harder when you've got Graham in front and behind you?
Absolutely, when you know the pace he's got and I got a bit of a lead and I thought, you know what, I've got half a chance here, but you know in the back of your mind he's just going to get you, and there's just no point, so I yielded at the chicane, but I'm just so pleased to get second. I've had a bit of a, not a tough weekend, but we've had fourths and thirds, and second in the finals good for me, so really good.
Now this truck, you're pretty consistent with the points this season.
Yeah, I think that's going to be my key to the championship. If I can finish every race, like Thruxton in the air, I think they say. It's not the quickest, but it's definitely not the slowest, so we'll just keep on just getting the points, you never know what happens, so...
Stuart, what a brilliant race there, and you're under pressure most of the time, I think.
Under the pressure from start to finish, yeah. That was one of the busiest races I've had for a long time. You know, the start was good, but they were at us all the time. And Chris got past us, and then as Matt was having a go, and then we had a tangle up in the complex. But there were Dave was on me heels all the way, so it was certainly entertaining from where I was.
So Dave, final race of the day. Wow.
Yeah, amazing, brilliant. From where I was sat, we all gave as hard as we could, and yeah, brilliant racing again.
Now the Digitex truck, it's back on form, I'd say.
Yeah, definitely. We've still got this slight horsepower loss with the intercooler problem, but we can sort that out. But as regards the work on the chassis that the team have been doing, it's brilliant now. It's good.
Matt, what a race! Some battle scars there, but some great action.
Yeah, it's only a couple of panels, mate, but it was a race. It was, to be fair, it was better than the race than we had previous that I won. We had a few comings together, which ran me down the back of the grid again, but we rejoined, got our head down. Circuit was all right, truck was phenomenal, and just kept ploughing away in the under 140s, and then I caught up with him again, got re-engaged. We wanted another lap, but I think would have been up the front again, which would have been monumental. But no, I was dead chuffed, mate, dead chuffed.
You know what, we could have done with another lap as well, but Matt Summerfield retakes the championship lead from Chris Levitt. 6 points clear. 1 point down now is Steve Thomas in third. Stuart Oliver and David Jenkins still squabbling over fourth and fifth. Simon Reed still leads Division 2 by 8 points from Steve Powell, but Graham Powell's consistency and speed has got him up to third ahead of Ryan Smith. Well, what a thrilling meeting we've had once again here at Thruxton, our annual visit to the Hampshire Circuit. I can't wait for 2015, but in the meantime, we've got more truck action coming up soon here in the UK. We hope you can join us for our fourth programme next time.